It over here. Okay, thank you. Hello, 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 good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly,
And I'm not.
and this is Dr. Kelly's Perspective with Ira.
Is my hair in my eyes?
No, your hair is like beautiful. It's all in place. It's all in place. Okay, so we're on a little later than normal, much later than normal, but
We're
it
here.
works. Yeah, we're here. We're here because it's about consistency.
No, it's not.
Well, it is about being consistent.
No, it's not.
Why about
We
it?
just said.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying we're here because it's about being consistent.
Well, we're here because you made me. And you consistently make me do things.
No, I don't. But anyway, so we were. Hey, Shima, I'm gonna need your help on this one. So we were gonna talk about consistency and the importance of it. But then I said, no, we're not gonna do consistency because you're gonna try to.
Front
You're
me
gonna
up.
try to front me
Yeah.
in front of the peoples and say, well, why can't you consistently buy me the same thing I like? And I didn't want to go
But you
there.
can. Okay.
But we weren't going there.
But we
so,
changed and we said we're going to talk about
Yes.
the first question that someone may have.
So, hello for all who are out there. Hey, Elliot. Hey, Mishima. So, we're not winging it.
Yeah,
completely.
yes,
Okay,
it's
this is
it's
called
total
a
wing.
wing.
This is winging it.
This is called a wing. Shima or Mr. Threet. What's a question? Think of a question.
Shoot, give me your best. I'm ready.
Okay, so shoot your best question, and we're gonna go for it. Or, yeah, we're gonna go for it.
I'm ready.
Okay, he stays ready. He stays ready. See, he makes me better every time. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Why would I be with somebody who don't make me better?
Because they turned you down and I didn't. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, they didn't. I didn't get a turn down. I didn't
Danny?
get a turn. Don't be calling names on
I'm
me.
sorry.
Stop.
Stop names in the world.
Stop. Don't be calling names. on
Okay.
me. Okay, we are not trying to do that. Okay.
Is that a bird?
You're trying to. Okay, you're trying to be funny. Okay, so Shima, you got a question? Elliot, you got a question? Well, hello, Brother Williams. Hello. This is open forum tonight. We taking the first question we get
That's
and we're
right.
gonna run
We're
with
gonna
it.
run with it. Show you how we run.
Can you like only see half of your face? Because if you only see half, they only see half.
They can hear all of my words.
I'm just saying, but they, you know.
It's not
this
about
is-
the
this is
visual,
a-
babe.
Yes,
You-
it is. Or
it's
else we
not.
could be on the
It's
phone.
you. Well, let's call them.
Hey, Marsha. Marsha was there. Okay, so here's what tip do you have to maintain your emotions when someone tries to take you out of your character? That's an excellent question. Okay, I got something for that. What you got for that?
Go ahead, please.
Well, no, you go first.
It happens. It happens not daily with me. I mean,
People take you out of your character?
no, they attempt.
Okay, so how do you...
Like here's the best example. I've been a competitive bodybuilder my whole life, and there's a natural stereotype that people always say that big and dumb.
Okay.
And I've had that on several occasions. You know, in my younger days I would succumb to that and crush them. No, I wouldn't. That's just more of a figure of speech. But you know, sometimes it's better to know who you are.
Okay. Okay, so my answer sort of does bounce off that. Let me, before Elliot forgets, before I forget, Elliot says, what's one key to a long marriage? Okay, but let me answer my little part on.
Wake up in the morning,
We ain't on that yet.
look her in the eyes, and
Kelly,
say,
you
"I'm
ain't
sorry."
let
I'm sorry.
You ain't let me do my
See,
part.
look, I'm sorry.
See, he's already doing it. Okay, so but here is. How do you keep people from allowing you to take you out of your character? For me, I remember one time someone, flipped the switch for me, turned my buttons, and I went completely out of character. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed about how I acted that always rings a bell because I don't like being a puppet. I refuse. I do not like being I don't like the thought that someone is pulling my strings and controlling me, and the thought of that makes me go 180 from what they are expecting. So for me, because you ended up saying you got to know yourself.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's along that same line. I remember being so embarrassed and ashamed of myself because somebody else was a puppet master. So I keep that in mind. I keep that in mind, and nobody gets to do the puppet master routine with me. So I like that question.
You have to be real comfortable with yourself, because people are gonna always. It's gonna happen. Like the time we were at living in Paloma del Sol, right? And you were on your way to Okinawa, and a couple of members were there, and they said, "Well, why are you gone? We're gonna teach Brother Kelly how to be a better man," and you took care of that. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. How does that relate to?
They could have taken me out of my. I could have said,
okay,
"How you gonna
I'm
teach me
following.
how to be something and you don't even have one yourself?" I mean, sorry about that. That's
I'm
what
so
I,
glad
that's
you
what I
didn't
wanted
get
to
that
say,
right.
but
Yeah,
I didn't say that. I mean, I had a lot of responses, but I kept them to myself. I really did.
Yeah,
I
he's
really
pretty
did.
good
I
about
really
that.
did.
For the most part.
I mean, because
It's
this,
about knowing yourself. Okay, I agree with that.
I always do. If I'm talking to someone, and if it's a perfect stranger, and I've had to go guys to just blurt out insults, and I take a time to assess. Because I say, by responding in a negative way, what is it going to get me? And most times, it's not going to make them feel worse. It's not going to make them feel better. They're trying to get a rise out of me. They get nothing out of me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I refuse.
Shima says she understand, Mr. Irish. She understand. Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. I like that as well. We got two more good questions.
And plus,
okay,
you don't want to take me out of myself, because I can get really ugly. No, I'm serious. Well, nothing really offends me unless you mess with this one, and then.
Oh yeah, that's not a good.
That's not a good thing. You're the same way you.
But okay, but wait a minute, because I want to get to this question because it's very good. What's one tip for a long marriage? We just celebrated 32.
It's been hard, Elliot. Elliot, it's been hard, brother. Believe me.
32.
I struggle every day, man. I cry at night sometimes. No, just kidding. That's kidding.
Okay, and then I got one more question. So ask.
That's easy for me. This is because I'm not afraid to say I'm sorry. I'm not afraid to admit that I fell short. I'm not afraid to admit that I don't know something. I'm not afraid to take the lead. When it comes to my family, I have no pride, nothing like that. I'm me. I'm daddy. I'm a husband. You have to take the ego out of the relationship.
I agree. That's good. You know what else though? This is for me, and this is in addition.
You need some work. You still need a little work.
I know I do. I know. I didn't really think I was a slow learner, but this marriage thing, you got to work on that.
I got to tell them something. We were newly married in Beaufort, South Carolina, and I would make Hollie meals. So one day,
this is not a funny story.
No, it's not funny. She made me a meal, and when I finished the meal, I handed her my plate. And she looked at me like this.
Right, that's one of the things I had
and
to
it
work
hurt
on.
my feelings so bad because
my hurting his feelings hurt my feelings.
See, let me make the story a little bit more understandable. But days and months and weeks and every day prior to that, I would shine her boots every morning, iron her camis, take her food, and I handed her my plate, and she looked at me like, "You handed me your plate?" I said, "Oh my God, I was hurt bad."
Okay, so let me tell you.
And I'm still trying. I'm slowly getting over it. I'm almost back.
You still traumatized?
I'm still.
You can't be traumatized because now you can't tell the people I haven't changed.
Well, especially because when you bought me that suit too.
Okay, are you going the wrong
I'm
direction?
sorry,
But
it was a suit.
Okay, but
it was for a 90-year-old man. And a two-tone sweatshirt.
I'm not a real good gift giver.
No. She likes inexpensive gifts. To give.
There was another question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you ain't. Do y'all want my little 2 cents? Cause he.
Sorry, I'm done.
Yeah, he did. He did, Shima.
What?
You trying to show off?
I didn't do a thing. I'm quiet.
Okay, so listen, my little 2 cents for a long marriage. When we first got married.
Ooh.
Now you remember this. When we first got married, you said, "Let's not ever play with that D word."
Oh,
divorce.
Yeah.
And we really, except for the last, no, we really never played with that word. It was always figure it out, work it out, do what you need to do, roll your sleeves up. So that, because we never played with that. Like, well, look, if I don't like it, then I'm out of here. We never did that. You argue with me one more time and I'm just calling it quits. We never ever played like that. Or some people not playing when they say it. We never even talked like that. But the other thing I will say is I believe this. Pastor always says, there's nothing too hard for God. And so I translate myself to that. He's telling the truth when he tells that story about how I looked at him when he asked me to hand him his plate.
Horrible.
It was really, really bad. And that was, I loved him, but I had some stuff left over. When I talk about unlearning some stuff, I had to unlearn.
Yeah.
Okay, Ira.
Oh, sorry.
You had to unlearn some stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, get up on yourself. Get up off me.
I'm leaving you.
Okay, the D word is back and alive. But I had to unlearn some stuff, but I kept saying, nothing is too hard for God, and that includes me. I am not too hard. My heart is not too hardened to change me, work on me. So I think keeping that in mind has been one of the keys, and I like him. I like him.
I have good jokes.
Okay, let me give you one more question that came up.
What?
For me, it wasn't ego, Elliot. It was.
You have gray hair. Not a lot of it.
You got a whole lot of it too.
This is white.
Well, mine is white too. Say, well, ooh, when we get off this phone, he is for real.
I mean, you only have about 8 or 9 of them.
Showing off.
Pretty.
Okay, but anyway, Elliot said ego. I don't think it was ego for me. For me,
it wasn't ego.
It was a learned behavior. I learned things. You can learn by 2 ways: things that are caught and things that are taught. I just caught some things growing up, and then it didn't match my marriage, so I had to unlearn some stuff, and it's difficult. It's difficult to unlearn. That's why I say if you put the time in and make the investment in your marriage, or relationships in general.
See, most people don't know that she's an awesome woman, but she's
bossy. I don't know if that's
You want
true.
controlling?
Miss Christopher. Am I bossy? That's the wrong one, because she's sort of bossy too. Okay.
But it's okay. But you know what? It works. It doesn't bother me.
You know what? We work well together.
Right. It doesn't bother me at all.
We do work well together. I distinctly remember saying, Miss Christopher said, yes, I'm bossy. Okay, but here's the other. Okay, thank you for just kidding. Here was another question that rolled up, and this is more so I think for you. What's one tip that you would give somebody who's getting ready to branch out on their own and start their own business? Okay, let me say this while he thinks. You are pretty bossy. He has been on his own for at least, how many years?
30. At least 30 years.
No, he ain't been from goals. You take goals.
No, I was an independent contractor there.
Okay,
From 1993.
Well, that's
just a little sheet of paper with the 30
so
spots.
About 27. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of decades plus.
I can only say for me. I remember. I'll make this real quick. I remember when I first started my business. I continued my education in fitness, and after that, I made sure that I looked the part, and then I formulated a plan, and I just took a plain piece of paper and I wrote 30 names on that. Not 30. I put 30 spots on there, and I put on the top of the paper. I put my method, your muscle, my
method. I remember that.
As a free 15 minutes with Ira, and I signed up. Probably 15 to 20 people that over the first couple of days, and it was I stayed consistent with taking care the ones that I had. I was trying. I used my clients to generate new clients. I didn't go out and try to just market the whole world. I just took care of the ones I had in my stable, and then they bought in new clients. But in all business, you have to make sure that when you're teaching and when you're talking, I learned this in Xerox, that you do not impress yourself. It's very easy to teach, and you're simply teaching and preaching, and it's feeling good coming out of your mouth, and you have to really watch the people you're teaching. Mm-hmm. Their body language will tell you if you're penetrating.
We're gonna put a period right there. I think that's excellent, because that can translate to any business that you're in. Don't try to impress yourself. I have an earned doctorate. I have several degrees.
That's another story. I got to tell you about that. That's a good story.
Ira,
I know, but it's not a bad story.
Ooh, but why are you doing that?
But I just want to tell them, not today.
No. Okay, let me do my part. Mr. Bossy, who is being the bossy?
I'm not being
here?
bossy.
Yes, he is just like taking over. This is Ira's perspective.
I'm out of here.
No,
I'm just kidding. Okay. I apologize.
You don't need to apologize. I'm kidding.
Okay.
But the part about don't impress yourself, when I'm getting ready to speak somewhere, obviously people say, well, let me have your bio and I want to introduce you. I'm always a little queasy about that, because my thing is this: don't allow a bio or an academic pedigree to impress you. If that person cannot leave you in a better spot, better space than what they found you, you could have more degrees than a thermometer. I'm not impressed by that.
Absolutely.
And so yeah. So that goes along with don't impress yourself, because if you can't make a difference in another person's life, what does that mean? Okay, I like doing the open forum. That was a good idea you had. He has several of them. Okay, Ira, you want to sign us off? Oh, you got a joke?
No.
You ain't got a joke?
No, I was just thinking.
Okay,
it's a beautiful day. I'm thankful. I'll start playing golf tomorrow. I'm happy.
That's how you gonna sign us off?
Oh, I'm sorry. People, go have a good dinner. Remember to feed your body and not your appetite.
Okay, I like that. I'll take that. I sort of like him. I'm gonna hang on to him. Thank you for jumping on late with the. Oh, she was saying, give us a joke. Give a joke.
Okay.
You keep a million of them.
Where did the Lone Ranger take his trash? To the dump.
Okay, we're gonna sign off with that one. That was pretty good.